everybody, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the new L'Oreal foundation. I stumbled upon this foundation in my local drugstore, and I just had to try it out. It was buy one, get one 50% off, so that was even more encouragement. The color that I got is 308, and this is Sun Beige. I also got one shade up. I want to say it's 307. This is Sun Beige, and for reference, in MAC I wear NC44. The color that I normally wear in L'Oreal is 210 Classic Tan, and this is just a shade darker than Sun Beige, I believe. This foundation, it comes in like a little tube. It kind of reminds me of a travel size toothpaste. That's about the size of it. You do get your standard 1 fluid ounce, and on the back it tells you more about the foundation. It tells you that it's a natural finish, 24 hours wear, high coverage, and an air-like texture. Now about that air-like texture, when I first applied it, I just love the way that it looked. I just love the finish of it. You can definitely tell that I had foundation on, but it was just so beautiful. It was almost like an airbrushed look on today, but I don't think that I got the same effect. I believe last time I used more foundation. So it is very buildable, but you do want to make sure that you get the best color match that's available to you, because I noticed the more foundation that I put on, the more that it looks too light for me. As far as the formula, it's kind of hard to explain. The formula is almost like a mousse. It has like a pointed tip, like a dropper tip, but it's not a dropper. And when it comes out, it's like a mousse. It feels really light. Now, because it's a mousse, or because it's so light, it does dry extremely fast, so you don't have a lot of time to play around with this foundation. Because it dries so fast, I do find myself using more than what I probably would. It's kind of hard to describe it in a pump or like a dime size, because it comes out in a straight line. So I would say for my look today, I used about 3 1/8 lines because it does dry so fast. My skin right now, I live in the Midwest. It is extremely cold here. My skin is dry. It's not that the foundation dries out my skin. It's just that I will have to use a heavy moisturizer underneath this foundation. On my skin, it looks more matte. I don't think it's a matte foundation, but because it's the winter time, it looks matte. I wore it all day. I wore it to work. I fell asleep in it. I woke up and looked in the mirror. My foundation still looked good. I wouldn't suggest doing that, and I didn't do it intentionally, but it does. I can't say that it lasts 24 hours, but I would say that you can get at least 10 to 12 hours out of this foundation. For the most part, the color is not consistent with the packaging. It's hard to tell like what color you'll wear. The only suggestion that I can make is if you normally wear a L'Oreal foundation, I would get that particular shade. Not the number, but I would get that particular shade in the foundation. Like I normally wear a Classic Tan, so I would normally get Classic Tan in this foundation. It doesn't really absorb into the skin. It kind of floats on the skin, but it gives you this gorgeous finish. Another con is I don't think that it has sunblock in it, so I just put sunblock on before I put the foundation on. I didn't use a primer with this foundation, so I can't say that a primer is going to elevate it or make it worse. I didn't use a primer. I just used like my sunblock moisturizer underneath. As far as total coverage, I would say that it's not total coverage. Like if you're trying to color correct or anything like that, you'll still have to use like a color corrector underneath, because I can still see like my dark spots. Like I have a couple of dark spots on my chin. I can still see those. I can still see my dark circles through the foundation. So as far as coverage, I would say that maybe 70% coverage. I wouldn't say that it's a total coverage foundation. It does feel weightless. It's not a heavy foundation at all. I think that has to do something with it being like the mousse-like formula. It doesn't feel like, I can't tell that I have foundation on. It doesn't agitate my skin. It feels good. It looks good. Taking a couple of pictures with it on, I didn't notice a flashback, so I can't really speak to that. The price, I want to say that this was $12, and it was buy one get one 50% off, so it came out to about $9. And I would compare this to like Estee Lauder or even almost Urban Decay. Almost Urban Decay. I mean, I think that this foundation looks really good for $9. The only downside, one thing I did notice, once I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up, I could see the foundation break down. So I think because it's the winter time, there's like a delay in it breaking down. I don't think that it'll break down like as quickly. I do think that I'll have problems over the summertime, like in my T-zone, because when I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up, I looked in the mirror, I could kind of see like those little dots. If you have large pores, you know what I'm talking about. Once the foundation settles into your pores, it breaks down and it kind of creates those little dots on your face. But overall, I like this foundation. I think for $9, this is a great value. I am going to go out and buy another one. This can definitely be a staple foundation. So that's my quick mini review and first impressions of this foundation. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video.